Welcome to Unraveling with Jamie and July, where we explore the many layers of healing, deep dive into the difficult or often avoided conversations, and unravel what it means to be a woman in today's world.
And today we're going to be talking about aging.
Oh, I should have done the drum roll.
Yeah, because Jamie just had a birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any others of you have May birthdays, we'd love to hear about it. So yeah, we're recording this in May.
Yes.
So
we decided to talk about getting
old. Everybody's talking about it with women these days. Women are all talking about aging and how in our society we've made aging as such a bad thing, and women are standing up and saying no more, because aging is not a bad thing. It's a privilege. It's an honor. It's when wisdom comes in. It's when you start to feel free. You no longer give a shit about all the little things. Aging is beautiful, and it's something that in ancient cultures would have been so honored and just revered as like such a sacred thing. And it is a sacred thing, and we have taken it and turned it into something ugly, and something
to like try and avoid,
to dread. And there are certainly difficulties that come along with aging, with having to adjust your approach to your health and those types of things, but it's all beautiful and amazing. And so it's wonderful that there are women who have the platforms out there that are speaking up and speaking out about it and saying no more of this. But unfortunately, it's ingrained so deeply in our society that it's a problem a lot of the time, like the way that we're approaching it. And the fact is that once us as women stop caring so much about aging and we just like allow it and love it and embrace it, consumerism is going to go down a lot, and a lot of industries will crumble. So of course the system doesn't want us to embrace aging. They want us to continue to resist it. But we're saying no more. I am. So yeah. So let's talk about, this little game we got first.
Game?
Yeah, this one.
Oh my God.
Jamie picked this up yesterday, and it's Get Out of Your Comfort Zone by Ben Aldridge. 60 challenge cards to build a strong, resilient mindset. So we're thinking we're going to start doing this once a month in our This Life membership. So just once a month doing a little comfort zone challenge within. So if you
truthfully, we should just do it on Instagram.
We should do it on Instagram.
We should just do it on Instagram.
Well, yeah.
For everybody.
And for our members.
Of course.
Too, in the membership.
Of course. It'd be
getting
fun.
them to share what they're doing. But these are really fun. They've got like different sections. Creative, discomfort, skills, concentration, physical, and courage are their kind of things. And some of these you probably be like, no way am I doing that. But some are kind of fun and silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I think they'd make good social experiments.
Yeah. Dress outrageously, go out in public, call a friend from the past. I mean, some of them are easy to do. Long walk, go for a long walk, a challenging walk. We go for long walks all the time.
Yeah, that one's not.
So some of them are super easy and you're already doing them and already pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. I know we were reading them earlier and one of them said sleep on the floor, and Jamie were like, we've done that plenty of times.
Ain't doing that again.
You're not going to sleep on the floor again?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I will.
I thought we were going on a road trip.
And do we have to sleep on the floor?
Well, I thought we were camping.
Oh, that's not the floor. That's the earth. There's a difference.
Anyway,
earth is a little more forgiving.
Fun little game to check out, and cool to push yourself out of your comfort zone, especially if you're shy, which I do tend to be shy, which always surprises people
Yeah.
because I'm so chatty, but I
I
am
do
more
tend to
shy.
be shy too,
Yeah.
which surprises people.
Yeah, because you're quirky.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I better stop resting my foot up on the stand. It's
shaking
making
everything.
we'll be
Yeah.
shaking, having a little earthquake. So
Well,
anyway,
all right.
yeah, so check out us doing this get out of your comfort zone stuff on
Yeah.
our social media. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be a silly time. And yeah, if you want to come and join the fun, certainly you can tag us on social media, tag at Unraveling This Life. And otherwise come and join our membership. It's pretty cool what we're developing in there. So
yeah.
anyhow, so your birthday. You said you shared a lot with me about your birthday. Like what do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, how are you feeling about crossing that threshold? Like
where like I'm closer to 40 than 30 now?
Yeah.
I feel really good about it. And I think what kind of we're like, hey, let's talk about aging, because when you have a birthday and like quite often people are like, or at least I know it used to happen to me a lot more as a kid than it does as an adult, but like it still happens as an adult where people are like, oh, do you feel different? Do you feel older? Blah, 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 this whole thing. And usually you're just like, oh, it's just Tuesday. Like, whatever. I woke up, I might have cake today. Like,
I hope I'm gonna have cake.
Yeah. Like that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I don't think there's been very many ages I've hit so far in my life where you're like, I noticeably feel different. And I swear to God, I woke up like the day of my birthday. Well, first of all, let me rewind to the night before my birthday, because I did not sleep like at all. I was actually like, there were several reasons. First of all, I really was like going through a lot of like energetic stuff with this birthday, like really so. But like, I also was just like super excited for like, I didn't know why. Like I don't know. I was just like excited. I mean, obviously I knew I was going to be spending time with like you guys and friends. So I was excited about that, but I was just like next level excited for my birthday. Like I felt like a little kid. Like I was just like, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Well, maybe it helped that you've been seeing all these women getting older. Like we just went to that event.
Yeah.
With all these older women and when people were sharing, the few that did, it was like, aging's great.
Well, yeah. And like, I mean, I was definitely going to mention that within this episode too, was that like at that event, we went to this really cool event. It was like this screening of a documentary all about menopause
called The M Factor.
Yes, The M Factor. Thank you. And there was like a thing set up where you could write little notes, and it was something along the lines of like, what's the best part of this stage of your life? And it was quite funny because a high percentage of the notes on this little thing was no longer giving a fuck.
I put
and
one
you
of
were
those
one of
there.
them. Yeah, you were one of them. It was pretty funny the amount that was there. So I would definitely encourage anyone listening to let us know what the best part of aging is so far that you're enjoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like super pumped about my birthday, which was super weird for me. Not weird, but like new. And I did not sleep at all. And then I like woke up the next morning and I felt different. Like, and it's super hard to explain, but like, yeah, I just felt different. I felt older, but not older. Like I just felt wiser and like more mature all of a sudden in my brain. and yeah, I was just kind of like, oh man, I had such a great day. And I think it was like, I really felt this like way. I think I told you, I felt like I took this backpack off that I had been wearing and just set it down. I was just like, I don't need that shit anymore. Because I was like reflecting throughout the day too, because I was like having this just like fantastic day and I was like feeling amazing. And I had also made the decision too to kind of like be very, I think, present and mindful in my day. Like I was like, yeah, I'm going to go do this thing. Like I started my day with like going to a community meditation and I think that in itself was just kind of this bit of a shift for me too, of just like, no, I'm purposely going to do this thing for myself to just, I feel like everything I did was kind of just like this energetic stuff of just like moving me through some kind of portal, I called it. So yeah, no, I don't know. You're giving me a weird smirk right now, and I'm like,
I'm
I
just
don't know.
listening. I'm just listening.
I don't know what's going on over there, but
I'm just listening.
and yeah, no, and oh man, I forget I was going to say something because I was like, I think I was like a little bit reflecting on like how birthdays had been for me growing up, and like I had never really, birthdays were always terrible. I didn't like birthdays because I always ended up crying. Something always ended up happening that was just like shitty. And so yeah, so I wasn't like a huge fan of birthdays. And I think like when I woke up on my birthday this year, I was just like, I'm a freaking adult. Like I get to decide how my birthday is today. Like this day is for me. And then also on top of that, I was also like, I get to live every day like this if I want to. Like,
Yeah.
not just my birthday. Like it was just this like really, I don't know, I think strong realization of just like, you are in the driver's seat of your life.
Adult.
You're an adult.
You get to parent yourself.
Yeah, like you every single day can be like this if you want it to be, minus the cake. That's probably not healthy.
That's actually a really good approach. I wonder how my family will take that. Because see, I don't have the dreading birthdays thing. Instead, I get super excited. I love my birthday. I'm just like, always have since I was a little kid. It was one of the things my mom was good at, is like birthdays. Like she was really good at that. And so I always was excited about it. And now I do birthday week. So I'm like, it's birthday week. And I get super excited. And I'm just like, wow, it's birthday week. What are we doing? It's Monday of birthday week. But it could just be all the time. Because it's the amazingness of just being here. The miracle of being born and existing in this time. If we focus on that gratitude every day and are mindful about what we're choosing to do, we can be in that energy.
Yeah.
And how awesome would that be?
100%.
Oh my god!
So like we're just gonna be both like, it's birthday life now.
It's birthday
like,
life.
That's the energy we're bringing every day.
It's this life.
No,
but
awesome. This life.
Yes.
No, and it was really amazing too. Because like you kind of saying that just like reminded me, like, you know, I went to this meditation in the morning of my birthday, and it was and like, first of all, I was way too hyper to actually like really deeply meditate. I was very much wiggling and fidgeting a lot. I was also a little cold, but anyway, besides the point. But like in the meditation, I was just like filled with this feeling of just like, how fucking amazing is it that you were born, that you exist, that you are alive? Like that is so incredible and so beautiful. And it was like, you know, I could just feel like, I don't know exactly what the energies were, but it just felt like, you know, guides, spirit, whoever was just there being like, you are fucking amazing. We are so happy that you are here, that you exist, that today is your birthday, that you were born on this day 36 years ago. Like, how amazing. And it was just like this like beautiful energy. And I was just like, fuck yeah, that's amazing.
Well, and I think that's what our guides want us to feel all the time, is like, you're a miracle.
Yeah.
You truly are. I mean, this is, you know, back to the core, what we're talking about today, the aging, is if you approach life like every day, like with that gratitude of the miracle you are, that observation of how incredible it is that you are you and you are here right now, and how miraculous this human body is that you have been gifted to reside in, this sacred temple. You start having that approach towards things, it's going to shift the way you think about everything in life. And you're certainly not going to be sitting there worrying about wrinkles and aging and all these things that we get really caught up in because they're pushed on us. They're all around us all the time, like anti-aging serums, like how many things say anti-aging, anti-wrinkle on them? Like, come on, like what?
Okay, so let me ask you though, okay, have you ever in your life been in a place where you've been concerned about aging or like really kind of caught up in
Well,
that?
not concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I will say is I feel it's very natural to look in the mirror and kind of notice those lines coming in
Mm-hmm.
and take a pause and just like, huh, that's happening.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. Okay, I am looking older.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. For me, it's always I still just feel like me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
stopping and processing it of just like and accepting, well, I'm not any different just because my body is aging,
Mm-hmm.
which is a natural process. I'm still me. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
the same person. Well, with a whole hell of a lot of healing under
Yeah.
so same, not
Yeah.
same, but yes,
Same but different.
you get the picture.
Yeah.
But like I don't think, I think there's these micro moments, and I
Mm-hmm.
think everybody has them because you just can't help it when you see the gray hairs,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're like, oh shit, wow,
Mm-hmm. That's happening.
that's happening now.
Yeah.
Now you can get really upset about it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can dye your hair, um, or you can just not like the look of the gray hair and dye your hair, and
Mm-hmm.
it's totally fine if you want
Yeah.
to do that. That you have every right to um, decorate and embellish this sacred temple
Mm-hmm.
however you want to. And absolutely use creams and stuff on your skin, and not so much to prevent aging because you're going to age no matter
Yeah.
what, but to
Mm-hmm.
nourish the skin, to give it what it needs, like that. Approaching it like that instead of I'm trying to resist aging, I
Mm-hmm.
think is just such a healthier
Mm-hmm.
approach to it, because you can do all the different things you want to with you can go as far as plastic surgery and Botox, and if that's what you want to do, absolutely, you have every right to do that. It's not going to prevent you from aging.
Do you think the fear of aging comes really from the fear of dying?
I think a lot of it does.
Yeah.
I think though, as we look back, like historically for women, aging has been a bad thing because we are considered useless,
Oh
and
yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
considered like once we are no longer able to produce babies, then we're of no use,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
when in reality, again, you look back to the ancestors, once a woman becomes that grandmother figure, it's all the wisdom is there, and the
Yeah.
patience, and the teachings, and the nurturing of others, and supporting the community. Like the grandmothers play such an essential role. But within our society, what we've done is we've conditioned people to be ashamed of aging, distracting themselves from them with their wisdom, getting themselves caught up in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not benefited us at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, I think, like, how can you not notice you're aging? Of course you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
moments.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody's not going to
Yeah.
like just look in the mirror and go, oh wow, so that's happening now. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe even have, a little bit of a processing
Mm-hmm.
time of the whole thing. Like, this is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of my children is my youngest one. The other day, it was perfect that this
Yeah.
happened for
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the other day, one of my children, so I was grooming our dogs. I think I've shared, we have these, we have 3 corgis and a mini Aussie. And two of my corgis have this very rare coat, and they have to be groomed intensively. So I'm out there, and I'm working hard grooming
Mm-hmm.
these dogs, and the shaver. And so my son sees my hands in the midst of this. He's come over to check out how we're coming along, and he says, "Oh, wow!" And then he pauses, and he's like, "Mom, like, I mean this in such a good way, but and because it's so cool, you're getting your old lady hands. That's what he said. And I could have taken that wrong if I wanted to, but have I noticed my hands are aging? Of course I have. Of course I have. And I look at my hands and I see my great grandma's hands. And I think on her hands and I think of all that she did in her life and all the babies she cared for and all the sick that she nurtured. She was a very active member of her church, and she was always just, helping people and loving on people, and all the gardens she grew and the flowers she tended to. And I think, God, what an honor to have the beautiful markings of, we'll say, old lady hands in quotes, how amazing. So, and how special is it to be able to look at my hands and still be able to remember my great grandma's hands, who passed away when I was just 12 years old. And I get to, it's like she's back, and I love that. So yeah, him saying that, I just had a little, a giggle and was like, yeah, sure enough. Yes, I am. I am indeed. And so I'm celebrating it for sure. So, and there's other things about aging that are challenging, with especially, well, I think it happens for men and women, but I know for women, as our hormones are shifting, and that's the phase I'm going through, is with the, perimenopause. And it is challenging. Your body changes a lot. And right now I'm having to learn how to eat a completely different way. It's really funny because I used to always say, I'd see all the people that are gluten intolerant and need to go gluten free and not eat bread and this sort of, just like, oh my gosh, that would be terrible. How could you give up bread? I love bread. Bread is everything. And I still love bread, but I also am learning that my body doesn't like to have a lot of bread. It just doesn't do well with it. And I put on a lot of weight over the winter because my body is changing so quickly. And it's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to have to learn how to better care for this temple in a new way now. Because my other, my old methods aren't going to work anymore. They're not sustainable. So it's constantly learning too. And as you age, what does my body need? And learning about what you like and don't like. There's so many things that I like now that I didn't like when I was young, and vice versa, that I don't like now. And so it's really cool. I think aging is amazing. It's fun. And it's an adventure.
Well, I was just gonna say that it's kind of like an adventure. I mean,
but it's so sad in our society. So this is a story I did not tell you. So I was at the thrift store one day a couple months ago, and you're not eavesdropping, you just overhear shit, right? And I overhear these two young girls, and they're talking back and forth, and they're teenagers. And one of them says, "Oh, don't get me wrong, I am not happy to be aging." Oh my God. And the other one goes, "I know, right? Oh, I don't want to age." And they get into this back and forth conversation about how they are looking old.
Oh my God.
And they're aging. And and I look up and I see these two stunningly beautiful young ladies. I don't think they could have been more than 16 or 17 years old. And they're having a conversation about aging. And I could not help but think, what the fuck is wrong in our culture that these young girls, are you kidding me? And thank goodness we have so many women who are, movie stars and moguls of sorts that are speaking up and saying aging's amazing,
Yeah.
and look at this face of makeup. Oh, look,
Mhm.
and you know, Kate Winslet with her viral one where she takes all her makeup
Mhm.
off,
Mhm.
and Kate Winslet's doing
Mhm.
amazing work in this, but so many women are. Drew
Yeah. Well, I was
Barrymore's
just gonna say,
doing it.
I remember seeing, like, I didn't see the actual full show, but I saw a video clip from it where, like, Drew Barrymore did, like, one of her talk shows with several other
Yeah,
celebrity
yeah.
women, and none of them had a stitch
Pamela
of
Anderson
none of them
was
had a
on that
stitch of makeup
one,
on, and it was, like,
yep.
incredible.
Valerie Bertinelli was on
I
that
remember,
episode.
yeah, and I
Yep.
remember sitting and looking at that episode and, like, being like, wow, like, look at these stunning,
Yeah.
beautiful women
Yes.
who are just
being
themselves right here in this moment. Like,
yeah. And Drew Barrymore regularly is putting up videos of where she has no makeup
Yeah.
on, and as we know, most people know Pamela Anderson right now she does not wear
Yeah.
any makeup, and you know, and again, nothing wrong with wearing
of course,
makeup.
yeah.
Absolutely, if that's what you want to do, but I think it's very admirable that these women that have spent so much of their lives covered, because the amount of this is the other thing I think a lot of people don't realize, and certainly young girls are not privy to this unless they're working in like theater or Hollywood. The amount of makeup that is put on actors is beyond what we can even imagine. It's not something that we can achieve in our bathroom at home, you know, in the morning before work. Like they have professionals putting layers of stuff, evening out their skin, making it look perfect for on camera. And I don't think that clicks in our minds, and so we chase after this ideal that it's fake to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not attainable. We all have imperfections on our skin. We all have scars. We all have things that it's part of being a human being.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, hearing those two young girls, like it really stuck with me. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, no, I mean that's like it's sad when you think like that's the society that we're
normalized,
being grown up in.
Yeah. No, like why would you be concerned about aging when you're 17 years old? I mean, and then therefore also it makes you wonder, well, what do they think when they do see an old woman? What do they think? Like what crosses your mind?
Like,
when
what do they think when they see like a 30-year-old woman?
Well, exactly.
Is that an old woman?
Well, and you know, it's funny because I think back to being a teenager myself, and like, you know, I had teachers in school. Some of them were probably just barely out of college. Well, barely out of college is what, 23, 25 years old. I look at my own children and like their age right now, and they look like just kids to me. But when I was a kid, I saw these people this age and I was like thinking they were old or older, right? And it's just so silly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do think like it's like, we definitely live in a society where, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there about aging, but I think it is also like partly your perception as a youth as well. Because I think back to like when I was a kid, and it's like, you know, I remember, you know, asking my parents how old they were and being like, oh my, I mean, they're your parents, and you're like, fuck, that's old. You know, and then it's like I'm that age now and I'm like, well, I don't feel old. Like,
well, exactly.
You know what I mean? Or like, you know, thinking that people like in their 40s were old, and it's like that's
it is funny, you know, as like for me as a parent and going through the process of healing and you know, just all the different things that start happening, especially when you get around 40, like so many things start becoming more, I don't know, just clear. Like a lot of wisdom starts to ease its way in, and just thinking like about my own parents and the ages that they were at different phases and going, holy shit. Well, no wonder they seemed so fucked up. They didn't have anything figured out. I didn't have anything figured out at that age either, you know, like, and just having that realization, like, oh, like it really helps you see your parents as so much more as humans, I
Yeah.
guess, and offer them grace as you age
Yeah.
too, right? Because you're realizing from your own experiences, like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, yeah. Like if I had these issues I was facing and this many kids, and yeah, I might be pretty,
Yeah.
challenged
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I might be-
Oh my goodness.
So, maybe I should offer some grace
Yeah.
there for this.
Well, and I think it's like, I think when you are kind of like, say, more actively like healing and
Mhm.
stuff in your life too, I think, I know for me it's like, there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, like that comes into play too, where I'm like, I love aging. I'm so excited about it because I know with aging comes more wisdom, especially when you're actually like, you know, searching for it, I guess, in a lot of
Yes.
ways, right? Where you're not just like waiting for it to come to you. You're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm active.
I actually
I'm
want some
involved.
wisdom
I'm
here.
involved in my life and learning and growing and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, right? And I think I said that to you the other day, where I'm like, no, I'm excited every year that rolls around, because I'm
Mhm.
just like, that bitch back in her 20s was like, no, thank you. The further away I can get from her, the better, because she didn't have a clue.
It's
And
crazy,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting when you step back and you look at things from different angles, the
yeah.
perspective you can get.
It's also funny too, because like now, kind of, I mean, talking about aging, it's like, you know, I don't have kids, but like now seeing like my nieces and nephews who are teenagers now, and like, I don't know, just kind of like being like, oh man, I really had high hopes that they'd skip that like stupid teenager phase where they think they know
It's
everything. And
not real.
I know.
That's-
I was
That's
hopeful for
part of
them.
human
I
development.
know. I was really hopeful for them though, and like just seeing that, and I'm just like, oh man, I know I was like that when I was their age. Wow, it's annoying. Oh my God. It is such a natural part of growing up, but you're just like, well, can't wait till you get to look back on that and be like, man, I was really dumb. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, no, it's
But
a perspective on things for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. No. And as you get into your 30s are interesting, I know for sure. But everybody's journey is different
Oh,
too,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, you've been on the healing, like conscious healing journey
Mhm.
since 30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And or was it 29 maybe? I don't know. Yeah. But right around
30.
and
No, I would have just turned 30.
And then for me, I don't enter into that real awareness of what I'm doing
Mhm.
with it until I'm getting closer to 40.
Mhm.
Well, when you think back, what was I doing at 30? I had like 5
Mhm.
young kids. Like
Yeah.
in my 20s, I had 5 young kids. Like I
Yeah.
had no time. Could you imagine? Can
Yeah.
you imagine trying to do the healing that you've been doing
Mhm.
the last several years with a house full of a bunch of people
No,
needing you all the time? Like,
I don't think that would be possible.
there's no time, right? There's no time for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So we all go at our different pace given
Oh, for
our
sure.
life circumstances,
Yeah.
situations,
Yeah.
and yeah, and offering others grace. I mean, that's where the wisdom comes in. It's just like,
Mhm.
oh, they're just in whatever phase they're in, and that's
Mhm.
okay, and it's fine. And you stop, you let go of judging people, and you just allow. Like it's
I get a kick out of how every like like decade, like every time someone's in one, they're like, oh, 40 is where it's at, or like 50 is where it's at, and like everyone's always saying that, and it's like, clearly it just keeps getting better.
It definitely
Because
gets better.
I heard a lot of stuff about getting into your 30s, and I was like, I got to my 30s and I feel like I tripped through a doorway and fell down a set of stairs going into my 30s.
So are you telling me I'm the only one that was honest with you
And
about your
like
30s? Because I
think,
remember
yes, I
telling
think
you,
so.
I was like,
I think so.
30s,
But like,
yeah.
to be fair,
Woo!
at least 30s is not the dumpster fire that 20s was. So
Yeah.
like there's that. And like
Mhm.
30s have, I forget what I used to hear a lot about 30s. Like it before I got to my 30s, but it was like everybody was always saying that like, oh, like 30s are great. It's like the best 10 years of your life kind of thing or whatever. And don't get me wrong,
There's lots of good.
yeah, like 30s are awesome because like I'm enjoying my 30s because you're kind of at this, you're not, I mean, when you're in your 20s, you're just an older teenager. Like that's really all you are.
a lot of ways.
Like that's it.
I mean, I didn't really get the chance to be a teenager much anyway because of my life,
Yeah, like I feel like well, I guess yeah, I'll speak for
But
my own
yes,
personal
most
experience. I feel
people-
like in my 20s, I just was a teenager who had more responsibilities and like a few bills. But like then you get to your then I got to my 30s and I was like, oh, I thought
Okay,
I
need to
was
be a grown-up
becoming
now.
an adult,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. Now I must.
Yep.
And but no, 30s have been fun because it's like, I mean, I'm glad I've entered into my 30s being like, how do I heal and you know, in that energy, because I think every year has been different.
Oh, for sure.
Very different. I mean, obviously that's just life. Every year is going to be different, but I feel like 30s have been quite the adventure so far.
Yeah. I've found like, and I think there is generational stuff too. So like you're a generation behind me. So because of what's gone on in society with healing being so much more like broadly talked about, everyone pretty much knows that people are healing if they're not healing themselves. Like they're hearing the word, they're seeing, you know, words like Reiki, which we wouldn't have even seen that word before. They're hearing the energy healing, energy medicine, plant medicine. Therapy is no longer a taboo thing. Like when I was young, you know, therapy was like, oh, you know, that dreaded, oh yeah, he's in therapy. Like, oh, he's seeing a shrink. You know, they used to use that kind of wording like it was a shameful thing, right? But it's not anymore. It's encouraged. It's like, are you getting counseling? Are you going to therapy?
Now
good for you.
Now it's almost a red flag if you're not. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or what are you like? So what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah.
And everybody's sort of, you know, I mean, not everyone, but
No.
most people in general have something right now, and if they don't, they're aware of what's going on out there, and that this is a massive shift in our culture that we have, right? So, but that wasn't the case when I was in my 20s. Nothing of the sort was being discussed, really, not in the mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yes, there were many people out there doing energy work and all that, but it wasn't anything I had heard of. And so your 30s have been so much this healing journey where truthfully I didn't really get into really that conscious, like really committed healing until later in my 30s, because it's the generation, right? So, and I think like we were discussing recently, like your mom has done a lot of healing and growth, and she's done that now, like in her would be 50s, 60s. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in there somewhere.
So, and that's just, again, it's the generation. I know, you know, like it's a thing with women in my family who are the generation above me. Like there's healing happening for them right alongside me right now. So we can't even say, because you could say, oh, the 30s are going pretty good or whatever, like at this point. And it's, for me, like 40s were seeming like, but they were also challenging. There was a lot of deep, difficult healing work, just like you were experiencing in your early 30s. It was just like, whoo.
Yeah.
And now I'm coming to, you know, closer and closer to the end of this decade of my life.
I think the first few years of 30s is, speaking of aging, is where all of the gray hair came from that I now have. Because it came real fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yours also stands out because you have the brown hair, right? Supposedly the hairdresser says I don't have any, but on occasion I will find a gray hair.
You do. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, exactly. I have the random ones. They just hide.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I've had white hair since I was in my 20s. A few.
Oh, wow.
I've had about 3 since I was in my 20s.
And it is
now I have a handful.
It is kind of an alarming, that first realization, like, oh wow, what's this? Oh shit, that's a gray hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
Well, like,
I
you
just
know?
did that yesterday because it's like, okay, I've been having like gray hair in my head for a while, but then from yesterday I was like, so this thing happened.
Yeah, and you put this
And
in
I
your
found not
eyebrow.
one but two white eyebrows. And like
Eyebrow.
that's different. That's another level. That
That's the
is-
next level.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real. Non-essential workers are being laid off.
Yeah. Oh,
We need you
goodness.
over here for like bone structure and muscle mass.
Yeah.
The hair doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. 40s is really gravity starts to take over on
Yeah.
the body. I'll tell you that. For us women, for sure. But I think
Oh,
for
my
the men
goodness.
too, from my
Yeah.
observations, it's like, well,
Yeah.
yeah. And you do notice, but it's the approach.
Mhm.
And you know, so much in our society it's been seen as such a negative thing and something you have to fix. And it's like, why do you have to fix what is natural unless you want to?
Yeah.
And by all means, but otherwise, like, and even if you are gonna fix it, still love yourself for it
Yeah.
and embrace it and see it as a rite of passage. I mean, I think that's part of
Mhm.
our issue in our society is we've stopped having that rite of passage for anything.
Mhm.
We don't really celebrate the birth of babies in the same way that we used to. Like it used to be a much bigger deal. You know, you go back into ancient cultures, certainly it was a bigger deal. There was more, there's just more honoring and more sacredness. And
Yeah.
we definitely don't celebrate the coming of age, you know,
Mhm.
those transitions of from girlhood into womanhood and boyhood into manhood. And like, you know, these things were such sacred things before, and we should have that for all of our stages through our
Mhm.
lives.
Mhm.
Like moving into the phase of for a woman of being that wise grandmother. That's a beautiful thing. Like
Mhm.
that's something not to be dreaded, and it's something that should be open and discussed, and everybody should be aware of, men and women,
Mhm.
because we all live here together. Like we've kept it so secret. Like you know, talking about menopause, for example,
Mhm.
it was always just it was so taboo. Like
Yeah.
nobody discussed it. Nobody um openly said like, oh yeah, these are the things that are happening in my body, these are the reasons why. No, a lot of people didn't even know why.
Mhm.
It was like, well, let's just try to mask it and cover it up and pretend it's not happening. And there's grandma suffering in the kitchen, sweating, having hot flashes,
Mhm.
and still cooking, carrying on, barely
Yeah.
getting any sleep at night because this is what her body's changing.
Mhm.
And nobody's even acknowledging this, that this is a huge deal. It
Yeah.
is a rite of passage for women.
Yeah.
So I think that, our whole way that we've disconnected from ourselves and tried to fix something that's not broken
Mhm.
is part of why we have this unhealthy approach to aging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Are you looking forward? How do you feel about the wrinkles? You asked me.
I didn't ask
have
you about
some.
wrinkles.
Well,
But,
aging.
aging. How do
Yeah.
I? What do you mean?
When you look in the mirror and like,
I mean, I feel like for myself, I mean, like you said, everybody's story is different, and I think for myself in general, I spent the first half of my life hating myself so much that now, like everything I see, I just love, right? Like and there's also this part of me that like I didn't want to live for the first half of my life. So the fact that I'm here today and I'm in my 30s and I'm doing well and like I get to look at myself in the mirror and see this beautiful woman that I've become and like I just like I love it. I'm like, oh sweet. Like, hey, what's up? Didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But no, so far, yeah, I've not had any experience where I'm like, oh damn, like what's that? Like I love it. I think aging is beautiful. I love seeing people aging. I love, interacting. I love seeing the laugh wrinkles and the like that's beautiful. That's life. That's your body showing your life that you've lived.
Absolutely. I think it's one of my favorite scenes in that movie, the Barbie movie, when at the end she's sitting next to the old lady on the park bench and they have this sort of back and forth, and she looks over at her, and here she is, Margot Robbie, playing Barbie, a doll, a perfect plastic, perfectly aged, just that peak.
Yeah.
And she looks at this old woman, and she's just like, "You're so beautiful." And oh my God,
No,
the tears. I was just like, wouldn't that just be refreshing if everyone could have that?
Well, and it's like, and I feel like for myself, it's like, yeah, when I was younger, I didn't see that beauty. You know what I mean? But as you get older, I think, and you change and you shift how you see things, it's like you do see that like as beauty, because you're like, you look at like an older woman or an older person, and you're just like, wow, like like, look at that wisdom, that beauty, like that life that was lived. Like, you're so beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. Yeah. And yeah, like I look in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, oh, wow, you're just, look at you. And then, sometimes I look and I'm like, wow, the wrinkles really are becoming noticeable.
Well, I mean, I feel like I haven't really noticed. I don't know if I have any wrinkles coming in. I haven't noticed any. Now I'm gonna have to go look. But wait, tell me. No,
well, you just have ones from like laughter.
Yeah.
You have your little eye ones.
Yeah. But I will say one thing I do notice, and it gets me every once in a while, is that you can't get away with not having a good night of sleep anymore and not notice it on your face. Like when I wake up and I'm tired and like I haven't slept good, that's the stuff I notice in the mirror, where I'm like, damn,
it's rough.
You are not 18 anymore.
Yeah.
You need to go night.
You got those dark
oh
circles.
My God, yeah, I get them so bad.
And that's something with aging for sure. Like I definitely have my moisturizing lotion on right now to kind of cover those dark circles, because I don't want to scare anybody on the video. It's not scary. It's just, we'll have to come on sometime with no makeup.
Oh my God. Can it be in the summertime?
It needs to be in the summer, because here it's so, we have such deep winters that honestly, Jamie, really truly, you look like a corpse. And I say that and with so much love.
I know, it's fine. I know, like, it's true.
It's really quite something. And I don't know that I look, maybe I do look like a corpse. I just know I get the dark circles.
You definitely don't look as bad as I do.
You turn like translucent.
I know. It's like, I know. It's
I think my native stuff sort of just kind of comes out. But even that, like when when you're already a pale native and then you're even more pale because of winter, it's like, yeah.
I don't think my dark hair and my dark eyes doesn't help the situation either, though.
Yeah,
right? It's
probably.
It's a big contradiction there.
We don't want to scare anyone. No, it's not that bad. I mean,
I literally only put on blush to come on camera anyway, just so I don't look dead.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much all I do.
I wear very little makeup. I've never been a big person for wearing makeup.
Me neither. I literally just learned how to do it like 2 years ago. I'm letting them know.
I know. Yeah. I was, well, and it came about because of making videos in the winter. And I was like, Jamie, do you wear any makeup? Because I think you're going to need to put a little blush on.
We can't see you on the camera when there's a white wall behind you. All we see are eyes and hair. It's weird. It's freaky.
I wasn't shaming her, to make things very clear. I was just like, I think maybe just a little bit of pinkness to the cheek,
just so we know where to focus the camera,
just so we know there's a pulse.
Oh my God.
But no,
it's cool. I make fun of my paleness. I know it's a thing.
I know. And I don't even think I said anything until you kept saying like, oh God, I just looked at him. Like, well, I think I'll be a friend here. And I think that's the right mode. It's not shaming someone to be like, well, do you want a solution? Do you know how to wear makeup? Because you didn't. It wasn't a thing that you grew up around. So I wear very limited amount. Like I put on, now I've switched to that moisturizing concealer type stuff.
Oh yeah, I gotta look into that.
Because it my skin is dry because I'm getting older. and don't want all that cakiness going on. And then I put on a little mascara because I'm a blonde, so that's the issue with being a blonde. And I finally started doing a little bit of something with my eyebrows because, again, I'm a blonde, so it looks like I have like little partial eyebrows. And one of my friends actually was like, July, seriously, you really need to do something about the eyebrows. And I was just like, oh, and she's like, it's driving me crazy. Like, I want to fix them for you. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I never pluck. I never do. Last night I did do the little micro blade thing because a bunch were coming down, and I was just like, that's not good. I gotta keep things looking good on this sacred temple. But yeah, a little bit of lip gloss and blush, and I'm good to go. So yeah, but no. And my daughter, I have one daughter that wears hardly any makeup. And then I have one that just uses makeup as a form of her expression. And that's beautiful. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing to do. I love it when I see somebody who's expressing themselves through their makeup. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Makeup, no makeup. The point is do what you want to do with your body, but try to get to a place where you're not doing it because you don't like yourself. You're doing it out of shame, or you're doing it out of what somebody else expects, or what you think somebody else expects, whether it's wearing it or not wearing it, because we know that's a thing that's come up with women, right? Where like they're with a partner who's like, oh, I don't like it when you wear makeup. Well, that's neither here nor there. What do you like doing? And that's part of that embracing the aging, embracing your body, embracing who you are. And it doesn't matter your age. Yeah. That's like so irrelevant in the scheme of things. Yeah. So, but yeah. I hope we can get to a healthier place where I never, ever in my life have to hear a 17-year-old saying, I don't want to age. Like, oh my gosh, please.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so,
any final words of wisdom for?
Just love yourself. You're so worthy of love. And yeah, I think I would say embrace it. Embrace the wild ride. See it as the journey it is. Love this sacred temple with all of its flaws and scars. And I mean, my goodness, the amount of scars I have on my body. I bore 5 children. I have so many. And just love them, love it all, because we just get this one body for this life. And if we approach our body as the sacred temple it is, I think that puts all this nonsense of anti-aging and all that out the window, and you just get to really delve into the gratitude of the miracle that your body is, and even when your body doesn't work the way that other people's do, like, I have a very rare genetic blood disorder. So my body does stuff that other bodies don't do. And I don't dislike my body for it. I don't sit there and be like, oh, why can't you work right? Instead, I see that as that's the beauty of what I've been gifted in this temple, and that's just the way it is. And it's approaching it with gratitude. So much love and gratitude, and that's how we get to that self-love. It's part of your self-love is honoring this temple that you've been given. So important. And part of your self-reclamation is not caring about what people think of you, doing what you're doing because it's who you are, whatever that is, with your expressing, through how you decorate yourself and how you, that it's because of you and no one else, and that you're reclaiming that that's part of it. So yeah, I think that would be my words of wisdom. Do you have any?
I was trying to think of something funny to say, but I don't know.
Always with something funny to say.
I mean, no, I was just like thinking when you were saying that too, like, I do think getting past that like surface level stuff that I think we so often get caught up in with our bodies. You know, I know for myself, it's like I'll have moments quite often where like, you know, I'm out for a walk or something and I'll just start thinking about everything that my body does for me, you know, and like
That's
how,
the key.
yeah, and like how amazing that is. And I think if we can all start to kind of focus on that more,
Shift
to that more
Yeah.
than just like, oh, how do I look, and you
Yeah.
know, and all of that. And yeah, of course it's great to love how you look, and
Yeah.
but that, if you don't, that comes with moving into that more, that state of just like, wow, my body's so amazing, like all the places my feet have taken me and my legs, and they're strong and I can walk, and
Yeah.
you know, and just like these simple things that not everyone can do either, right? So if
Absolutely.
you have that body that works properly and you can do these things, like what a gift.
Yeah.
And just starting to think about that in different ways, and like thinking about the food that you're putting into your body, and like, oh wow, what a gift that I'm able to nourish myself this way. And you know, when you were talking about the hands too earlier, like I was thinking about that, and so often I will notice people's hands, or like I'll look at my own hands and just, you know, you'll just think about, wow, like all the different things those hands have done or created or
That's
comforted
incredible.
someone, or yeah, no, and it's amazing. And I think if you can start looking at things in that way a lot more, yeah, it totally shifts things.
It really does.
From not only just like disliking your body and being disconnected from it, but also from with aging, with, you know, just shifting that mindset of just like what an honor it and privilege it is to get older, to age, to notice how, what a gift to be able to live long enough to notice yourself changing physically,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and to have to learn new ways to take care of yourself. Like that's beautiful. And that's a privilege to be able to do.
For sure, because you can get out of the bed in the morning, and you know, when you're in your 40s, a friend of mine was joking, she's like, sometimes I wake up injured and I don't know how, right? And so yeah, you can get up in the morning, you can be like, oh, the aches and pains and this and that, and oh, you know, and just go into sort of a negative complaining mode, or you can go into, well, I'm still here and I'm still moving and I'm breathing and my lungs are working and my legs are working. Yeah, there's some pain, but I'm here. And that pain's there because of the life and the adventures I've had and the, you know, injuries I've survived and all those things, right? That's why you have those things. So you get to appreciate it so much more. And it is the path to the, you know, that level of self-love with your body, because so many women that I've worked with don't love their bodies.
And I mean, truly, I would say if anyone's listening who's like younger, like I really would say, like, I don't know, like I know for myself, it's like I struggled so much when I was younger, and you know, I used to hate hearing, oh, it gets better, you know, but it's like it really does. Like give yourself time.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I would say wisdom for me to anybody who's younger listening, eat healthy. That's a one.
Start exercising now.
It's never too early to start exercising. That would be something I don't regret, but I would say, you know, if I was a person who held regrets, moisturize. That's a good one. And drink lots of water. Well, that's also moisturizing. You know, you drink
moisturizing from the inside out.
Inside. You need to moisturize the inside too. So yeah. And saying that,
let us know what you guys think, how you guys feel about aging.
Yeah, we would love to know.
What you love,
what you don't love. A discussion about that. We go deeper into these things within our membership. We have different topics that we talk about. Our membership is called This Life. You can find it through our Substack. And it's an amazing place to sort of take all that healing work that you're doing and take the next step. Now what? Bring it into your life, those changes, and move them into action, and find community. And it is the next level in the healing journey, for sure. And we're really, really proud of what we're creating over there. And we'd love to have you join us. We're still in the founding member phase. So get in while you can. And we're going to have some watch parties going on in there. And there's meditations and rituals. And but the biggest thing is honestly the community support, because if I hadn't had Jamie through some of my healing, it would have been really extra challenging. So we need to have people that we can talk to who are healing along with us, and that we can bounce things off of, and
make sure you're not going crazy.
And it makes all the difference. And that's integration. So that's bringing all the healing work you're doing, all this, going to all these things and getting all these healings and all this. It's bringing it into reality in your life. It's the next step. So come and join us over at This Life, and we'd love to see you there and get to know you better. Yeah. Until next time, this has been Unraveling with July and Jamie, and we thank you for listening. And we just want you to know that you are worthy, and we love you.